In this module, we are going to focus on understanding learners' variability, then concept of UD, that is universal design, and concept of UDL, that is universal design for learning. So, first we have to understand the concept of learner variability. Just think of a typical classroom. Who is the typical learners? What does typical learning environment look like? If you have difficulty responding, there are some very good results. The word typical, it's synonymous with the terms like average, regular, standard, and normal. Who is the average student? It comes in our mind. And what do you mean by normal? So, when we try to picture what a standard or regular classroom look like, it is an impossible task. While the concept of standard may exist, statistically, it doesn't exist in the reality of the classroom or other learning environment. Every student, we can say, is a unique individual with different characteristics, different preferences, abilities, and beliefs that deserve consideration when designing a curriculum and instruction. So we can say that data and statistics can be standardized, but people cannot be standardized. Here comes the concept of learner's variability. Now, David Rose, one of the originator of Universal Design for Learning and the Chief Education Officer of the Center for Applied Special Technology, that is CAST, who states that in many classrooms, the focus is on an illusory average students. Many curricula are designed for that students. Cognitive neurosciences has shown us that there really is not an average student anywhere. And that's why it's an illusory student. It has been given by David Rose in 2014, as I already mentioned. So, by recognizing the reality of learner variability and building this variation into the design of instruction and curriculum, educators can address learners' varied needs and capabilities effectively. This concept is at the heart of the UDL conceptual framework. So, understanding learner variables means learners with diverse abilities, learning styles, needs that constitute a class, and it is the learning and development of the entire students in the class, for which the teacher is only responsible. In the classroom, definitely. So, diversity and inclusivity demand that we provide experiences that are appropriate and reflect the cultures and backgrounds of all children. Inclusive learning environments provide for adaptation or scaffoldings for children with varied abilities and from various backgrounds. Now comes the concept of universal design. So, what is universal design? It is an architectural idea that focuses on designing products, building, or environment that can be utilized by everyone, regardless of their constraint, regardless of their disabilities or challenges. The architect Ronald Mack invented this concept of universal design. in 1985 to express the notion of creating all products and the built environment to be as aesthetically pleasing and accessible as possible by everyone, regardless of their age, ability, social background. It's not a special requirement for the benefit of person with disability, but for anyone it is accessible, usable, convenient and a pleasure to use. It is the proactive design of product. It's very important that it's a proactive design of products and physical environments to make them accessible by as many individuals as feasible, without requiring any adaptation or specialized design. In the field of architect, retrofitting buildings with ramps or elevators to improve accessibility was generally the main and sometimes the only change that has been made to increase accessibility. It was discovered that retrofitting generally addresses just physical accessibility issues. Like ramp guarantee individuals can get to and from the building but do not address how they can address elements within that building. Now, Department of Empowerment of Person with Disabilities, Government of India has launched Accessible India campaign, that is Sugamya Bharat Abhiyan, on 3rd December 2015 to create a barrier-free environment ensuring equal opportunity for people with disabilities. So you can visit that www.accessibleindia.gov.in for more details. Now, if you look at the picture here, it's a picture of a menu card, right? So, is it accessible for all? No, this menu card is not accessible for all. Here, this menu card fits your need. How? It's a barrier-free for individuals having reading difficulties, may have language difficulties, or may have vision problem. These menu cards very clearly mentioned, very clearly you can see what you want to order. So we can say it's a menu chart for all, inclusively, universally designed menu card. So we can say that the fast food restaurants, they use this principle of inclusiveness or universal design in their product. So these are accessible in terms of their product. Now, the universal design for learning. It's a concept that extends this idea into the classroom and educational curriculum. By recognizing the reality of learner variability and building this variation into the design of instruction and curriculum, educators can address learners' varied needs and capabilities effectively. This concept is at the heart of the UDL conceptual framework. It's the most effective method for making course concept and skills accessible to all students or to all learners of all of their learning styles, physical abilities and sensory abilities. Now, education has traditionally been approached using a one-size-fits-all. Right? This model, we are always, as an educator, most of us are using this kind of approach, that one size fits all, wherein students or learners are subject to the same teaching styles and evaluation methods irrespective of their ability or interest. It would be impossible to design something that would truly fit all learners. Most one-size-fits-all items are actually one-size-fits-the most. So, education has traditionally been approached using a one-size-fits-all model, as I already mentioned, wherein students are subject to the same teaching style and evaluation method, irrespective of their ability or interest. Given that different students have different learning styles, have different strength and needs, and receive varying amounts of parental supports at home, does it make sense to throw all students into the same conveyor belt of education and expect the same outcome? Definitely the answer is a resounding no. So now, inspired by this concept of universal design, the Universal Design Framework, Universal Design for Learning Framework, was developed to ensure equal access to all students irrespective of their needs and challenges in the inclusive classroom. Universal Design for Learning, it's a framework that ensures that all learners have equal access to learning opportunities. It motivates educators to create adaptable curriculum that cater to all learners' requirements. In general education class, using UDL principles makes content and instructions more accessible and engaging. Learners gain knowledge, skills, and motivation for learning, and their development is legitimately measured, all while overcoming curriculum barriers. Now, universal design for learning, we can say that it's a blueprint for creating flexible goals, methods, materials, and assessment that work for everyone. This definition given by CAST in 1998. Now, if you see NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, that also gives emphasis on the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And the key principles of National Education Policy, it has mentioned that respect for diversity and local context. Now, this National Education Policy 2020 also ensure universal access to education at all levels by providing multiple pathways, by building schools, learning outcomes, assessing the learning outcomes, then peer tutoring, that is also very important, alternative content, maybe adaptations, all those things comes under this National Education Policy 2020. Now comes this universal design for learning. So what is it? As I already mentioned, that UDL, it's an approach to curriculum design that can help teachers customize curriculum to serve all learners, regardless of their ability, disability, age, gender, or cultural and linguistic background. UDL provides a blueprint for designing strategies, materials, assessment, and tools to reach and teach students with diverse needs. So, we can say that by providing universal design for learning, our content, our curriculum will be accessible to all. Means all learners, irrespective of their special needs, irrespective of their present condition, their strength, their needs. So UDL caters need of diverse range of learners. Practicing UDL is the biggest need of the hour to achieve the goal of inclusion.